The sun is absolutely crazy out here, but it's 77. It's beautiful in Florida right now. I am continuing our church thrift store adventures. I'm now in Williston, Florida at the Catholic Church thrift store. I love it. It's really little, but I have typically found a lot of good stuff here, mostly clothes, but I found some amazing linens here as well. So I'm super excited to go in and see what we can find. So I am really happy to be back with you guys and going shopping with you. Let's walk in here and see what we can find. And the clothing is the majority of this very small store. And last time I was here, I got, I want to say like 10 really nice Western button-ups that have been selling very, very well, but I'm not seeing any this time. However, check this out. Tommy Bahama pullover for $3 XXL. That is an excellent find. And this brand I'm not familiar with. Let me know if you are. It is Winona. It's an extra large, and it looks like it's made very well, and it's got like a leather trim on the collar. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that one without looking it up. But I am going to be trying to look stuff up today. So I'll show you when I do that. I did that on the last video just to try and give you guys a little more realistic picture of what it looks like for me thrifting as a reseller. I almost got that stitched t-shirt for myself, which is kind of funny. I stopped and looked that Winona up, and it looks like it should go for between $20 and $30. So I think that was a good pickup. And as I normally do at most, I do look through all of the men's shirts because I seem to find better men's clothing just because of the knowledge that I have. And their men's section, as you see here, is pretty small. It's not a overly big section to have to go through everything. The stores that have bigger, I typically will just kind of walk and browse through them, not go through everything like I am here, or I'm able to here because it's so small. So not much here today. This has been typically where I have found the most things here. And this has a really big stain. I wanted to show you guys. It was yellowing. I kind of circled it there with my finger. Be very careful with shirts and try and take them in better light. This is really cute. It says, "Give me some sugar." It's a Simply Southern shirt, brand new with the tag. And I have done very, very well with Simply Southern for around $15 to $20 typically. Now they have tons and tons of jeans here, and we're going to take a look through those. And first thing I see here is a pair of Wranglers, and these are actual cowboy cut Wranglers, which tend to be a little more expensive than your basic Wranglers. And I see that there's more, so we will probably go back and get those. And now we're gonna check out the linen section and see what we see here. And for me, it's hit or miss if I like to dig. Let me know if you're a digger. I know some people absolutely love digging through bins like this. And honestly, for me, and I just thought of this, I bet your best option to really see everything in there would almost be to have like a bag to empty the stuff out of one bin into a bag and then kind of move it, because otherwise you're just tussling around in there, and I'm not sure that you would see everything that they have. And here is their little selection of collectibles. These are stoneware mugs. They're pretty nice, but they have a company name on them. So I'm going to look it up and see if I can find this company here. Let's see. And it is Sunset Hill Pottery is the name of it. So I'm going to sold to see what they have sold for because that's really what matters. And here you can see there's some selling for 25, 36, 20. But the thing is these have that company name on them. So, and it's not a well-known company. It was like an architecture company. And they have these at, I think, $15. And I was checking to make sure they were all the company name. And they are. So I think we're going to pass on those just because that's really specialized. Now, if it had been a well-known Fortune 500 company or company that I recognize the name, then I might have went ahead and picked them up because sometimes those can be more valuable. Now, this one's Sandra Magnusson. It is a little heart earring holder, and they've got it just at $1. But if you saw in the back there was quite a bit of wear to it. So I'm going to go ahead and look that one up too. Some of that stuff can really surprise you. And if something catches your eye like this, it takes 2 seconds to look it up and can't hurt. And you might end up finding something that is worth a good profit. So I do recommend, if it catches your eye, looking it up. And here you can see this is at 20, but there's another one at 12. And so for me, I was just like, I'm not gonna do it when there's one listed at $12 that hasn't sold. And you can see I use my phone a lot. I've been doing this off and on for over 25 years. And what sells, the prices things sells out, the prices that things sell at is constantly changing. So just keep that in mind. Don't assume something always is staying the same. These are really, really thick glasses. And I need some plastic cups for at home, and they're $2 for these. So I think I'm going to grab those for my house. And I need a new spatula, but I don't see any nice spatulas here. That's what I'm looking for. There were no good ones. What is this thing? I think this is like an apple core, maybe? It was 50 cents. I don't know. And I was hoping that these plates would match the brand. You can see I was holding it up. But they are a different brand and they're not as thick as the cups are. So I did leave the plates and bowls behind. We got some Halloween stuff over here. Little placemat. I was thinking if I would actually put them up, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna. But this little glow mask is 50 cents. It's normally only $1, but I think that Dalton will like that. And we'll have some trick-or-treating events coming up here soon. So I think that's a good pickup. And again, with the Halloween socks, I like the idea of them, but I have to ask myself if I would really wear them. And the answer to that would be no. So we'll look at these linens and see what we see in here. This is a cute little pillowcase and it's got a zipper. I'm going to look and see if I see a brand name on this. And we'll see. But it looks like there's a tag, but just a generic one. So I think I'll probably skip this one. If it had been patterned or something I could keyword well, then I would have picked it up. But with just the plain buffalo check pattern, I think that's not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and set the cups in my little mask there so I have some free hands. And I kind of go back and forth in this store just for what I'm doing. And we'll let them get by. It's so tight in here. And these are all winter jackets. This one definitely looks vintage. It is a windbreaker. It is Canyon, and I have done well with these jackets in the past. It didn't have a price tag, so I asked her what it would be, and she said it would just be $3. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that one. And she was just verifying there was no price. I am, for some reason, a magnet to items that are not priced in thrift stores. That's just how I roll for some reason. And we'll go back and see if we can find any more jackets. I love selling jackets and sweaters, especially here in Florida. I think it's a section that's often skipped at the thrift store because we don't get a ton of jacket weather here. Now, maybe in late December, early January, we might not be seeing cold weather, we might be. So there's no way to know. And sometimes then those sections are going to be looked at. But for the majority of the year, I feel like the jackets and sweaters are ignored in Florida thrift stores, especially southern Florida. I am in North Florida, so for me, it does get a little bit colder. Look at how cute this bag is. Really cute, and it has like the Velcro. Look at the butterfly. It's only $2. Really, really nice little bag. But in the inside here, it looks like it's pretty worn. So, and that Velcro's not the best, so I think I'm going to skip that one. I'm trying to be pickier. It's hard, but I'm trying. I think that one was faux leather. And then this black one here looks to be in pretty good shape. The price sticker was coming off of it, though. I don't see a brand name, though. It says C. Let me know if you know what that is. I'm not sure what that C is. I know I've seen it before, but I can't recall. Now, this purse was a vintage one, but that one had a lot of wear on it. I'm dropping purses here. Cute little crochet handbag. These are Tommy Hilfiger shoes. I don't know if those were worth picking up. I didn't grab them. They might have been okay to pick up, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to just leave those. And I thought these might have been Merrill, but they are another brand. So probably not worth getting either. And I'm not great at shoes. So if you guys see some shoes that I should have grabbed, definitely let me know. These stores are only open Friday, Saturday, so I would have to wait a little bit before I could go back. And again, just like the last store, I think most of these collectibles are newer. I didn't see very many true vintage ones. We'll see if we see any dresses here. I love, this is their little boutique section, and I found $160 Calvin Klein dresses here, I think 2 or 3 visits ago. So they do have some really good stuff occasionally, but a lot of this is actually lower cost new stuff. And at $5, if it's only a $20 to $30 item, I'm probably going to just leave it behind. And I'm not seeing anything overly great today, unfortunately. But always check the boutique section. I know it's more expensive than the rest of the clothes at the thrift store, but a lot of times there's something that's worth picking up there. So definitely at least give it a glance when you're there. And with kids' shoes and clothes, I will look for Nike. I'll also look for North Face. That's another brand of kids' clothes that I have been able to get over my $25 price point with. But I'm not seeing any Nikes there. And I need to look for Dalton's shoes because Dalton's feet are getting bigger. He is growing. And with these jeans, I'm really just looking for ones that kind of stand out as being quality. And then I'll take a peek and see if they are worth picking up, but I don't think those were. Now up top here I saw a sweater. I'm going to grab it. This is a Gap cashmere cardigan. This is actually my size though, so I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this one for me. But the funny thing is it says made with cashmere here. But on the tag down here, it was only, I think, like 5 or 7% cashmere. It was a very, very low count. So make sure you check those tags and don't think something is all cashmere and valuable when really it actually is not. However, I liked that cardigan, so that was perfect for me. And we'll take a look at the women's shirts. Again, just a few racks. This is not a big thrift store, so it's not a ton to actually look through. I don't know if that Respect NYC hoodie would have been valuable. And if you're a clothing seller and see me flip through something good, please, please let me know. I am trying to learn. I just don't have the time to take out to study all the different women's brands, and I feel like my head is overloaded. Let me know if any of you feel like that. Like there's just no more room for information. And with this store, it honestly seems like I either find a ton or I find nothing. Like somebody has donated a bunch of good brands or they just haven't. You know, it's very, very rarely I find like 2 or 3 pieces. It's either I find 10 or more or I find none or maybe 1 or 2. And I think last time I was here, I found a ton of Hawaiian theme shirts. There's this Vera Bradley up top, but this is a dirty, dirty wallet. We're going to leave that one there. I do not like having to clean things. And Vera's aren't bad. You can throw them into the washer, but that one looked like it had some fading as well as dirt. And I was just glancing at the jewelry there, and same thing with these dresses. I'm not gonna go through every single one. I'll just look through a couple of things here. I don't see anything overly interesting. Now this is the pajamas though. I absolutely love the women's nightgowns and pajamas section. Red Devils. I'm not sure where that team is. This one looked like a cute set, but a lot of it is Secret Treasures, which in my experience hasn't sold well. So Secret Treasures I typically do leave behind. And you can see with the nightgown section, I am looking through more on this versus like the shirts and the dresses. And that's because I have done well with the nightgowns and the pajamas and things like that. Winnie the Pooh. These are typically only worth about $12 to $15, so I behaved and put it up. Now, if it had been the whole pajama set or if I had found another pair of Disney pants, I would have gotten that and lotted those up. There was a Laura Ashley set, but I picked up a couple of Laura Ashley, or maybe it's Ashwell. I can't remember. I picked up a few of hers and they have not sold yet, so I restrained and left those. And I'm not sure how they decide which jeans they're hanging up and which are getting folded on the shelf, to be honest. I was trying to see if I saw a brand on those. I think those were Hollister. I did decide to leave the Hollister behind. And I don't pick up things like Levi's unless I find more than one. That way I can lot them up. I'm just glancing at that art down there on the floor, but I didn't see anything that caught my eye. This tea kettle caught my eye. I don't see a brand on it, but I'm going to go ahead and snap a picture of that and see if we can find it using Google Lens. Let's see if we can find this thing. And again, if stuff catches your eye, it takes you only a couple of seconds to look it up, so you might as well while you're there. And this one, I see one on Etsy. Let's see what they've got it for. And it looks like on WorthPoint it only sold for about 22, so I'm going to leave that one. I've got a ton of inventory and I've got a lot. I did a couple of house clean outs, and so the lower value inventory I'm trying to leave behind. Let's see if we can find this bear, and I'm gonna use Google Lens to see if we can maybe find his name. So this was kind of crazy. There's a bear here and they've got it at $178. So this is a really important lesson. Do not take the first one you see as being what it will sell for, because look here, 12, 25, a lot of lower ones, and it is the exact same bear. So here you can see on the sold, only one had sold for 5. That is an important lesson to remember. People can price things at anything they want, but that does not mean that the value is there. So always check the sold listings as well, because if I had just looked at the first thing that came up on that, I would have seen the, $200 bear and been like, oh, I found this great find. When in reality, the only one that sold for $5. So that would have been a pretty bad buy, unfortunately. But I did look it up. Now, here's the baby blankets, baby towels, things like that. And I want to tell you guys, there are some little loveys, like the 12-inch by 12-inch square blankets. Those, if they are not made anymore, some of them will sell for $30 to $40. And my good friend Elena at Treasure Diva Thrifts, she actually just sold a couple of plush from Target, I want to say for $30 to $40. So make sure you look those up if you see them. And we're going to look this bear up here and see what it goes for, because that's almost like a little lovey. And we found a listing here. Let's see what we got. So this one's listed at $9. So less than I want to take. That one is not worth picking up. Not for me. I want to make sure to say that, because some of you might be thrilled with $1 into 10. And when I first started, that is something I did to build my business up. But now that I have employees, I want to hit that $25 mark. So really, it's about your personal preference. Guys, I started this daggum. Do you see it shaking? I started this happy birthday bear and it was singing. And I feel like everybody was looking at me, and they probably were, because I couldn't get it to stop. It just kept singing, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And even one of the ladies from the back came out, and I was like, I thought I'd be able to turn it off. I'm so sorry. Here you can see that birthday bear just listed at $9. So that's another one I'm going to pass on. Most of those singing things, if you push the button once, it starts, and you push it again, it stops. Now, this is a Build-A-Bear, and this is a rabbit. And this one, it looks like only goes for about 15. But I had a really good friend a few years ago that found 2 pink puppy Build-A-Bears with hearts on them. And she found them for $3 each at a garage sale. and they sold for $700 and $1,200, and they were paid for, and she got good feedback. So I always look up the Build-A-Bears because you never know when one of them is going to be a rare Build-A-Bear. And I found this beautiful Mikasa black set with the calla lilies. So I'm looking it up, and it looks like, though, on Etsy, there's 4 plates here for only, I think it was $18. So I'm not wanting to ship plates for under $20. That's a lot of wrapping. And I decided to pass on those. And then those charger plates were not worth much either. However, some charger plates can be really valuable. So definitely give those a second glance if you see them. I feel like we need to go back to the linens. I always go back to the linens. And you can tell I'm all over the place in here. Look at this. Cute little pajamas. So Dalton has been getting too tall for his pajamas, and that little set was 2, and I think would fit him well, so I grabbed those for him. And again, with these collectibles, I'm pretty sure they're all newer. There might be some vintage, but I'm not seeing anything that looks like it will have a good value. Now, these are the ladies' coats on this side. They have this nice leather vest, but they actually had it priced at $50. And I think that one probably would only sell for about $30. So I do tend to see a lot of thrift stores overvaluing like their leather or their Harley. I see that with Vera Bradley a lot as well. So be very careful when you see stuff priced up, because a lot of times they're selling it for more than you will be able to sell it for. Look at this kind of, I forget what they're called. What are they called? Like a cape, a poncho. This one's really pretty, almost like that red and black buffalo check. And I think I'm going to get that one for myself because winter is coming. And I know I might not get to use it a lot, but I think I will get that one for me. Let me know if you guys know of any brands of trench coats that sell well. I bought a couple London Fog, and they have taken forever for them to sell for me. And I think we need to drop off again on the desk so we can have some free hands here. I'm just increasing my pile there. I think I forgot to check the wallets down here. That was a pretty nice little leather wallet. I don't see a brand name on it, though. That was a Kenneth Cole reaction that I just threw on the ground. I'm going to put it back up after I look through the belts. There we go. And that Talladega bag looks nice, but it almost looks like it's cheaply made. I'm going to search and see if I can find that, just to be safe. I don't want to miss something. And it looks like that one isn't worth but about $15, so we'll leave that one behind. It does look like it's brand new, though. She was asking me about these pants. We think they were long johns, and you want to be careful. They're being careful there in the thrift store, but also when you're an online reseller, bottom underpants cannot be resold. You cannot sell panties. You can sell bras. So just remember that. Look at this fish pattern. How amazing is this? It's got a sea turtle and shells and fish, and it's a beautiful, beautiful scarf. So I'm going to grab that one. Look at that. So pretty. And this one is faux fur. So I was trying to feel it, but I'm pretty sure it was faux fur. Now I will pick up real mink ones. I'm trying to dig in these scarves. This one looks really well made, but it just said made in India, so I left that one behind. Watch for made in Italy, made in France on your scarves because a lot of those can be valuable. This one's a really pretty one too. They have a lot of big scarves here. Like most of these I think are over 4 feet. This one was new with the tag. Really, really pretty print there, but I think I'm going to leave that one. I didn't really like that burgundy color. Let me know if that was a mistake. I like this one. It's almost like peacock feathers, but I don't see a brand. Yeah, there it is. So that's like a beach wear, probably a sarong wrap or something similar to that you can tie around as like a beach cover up. Look at these socks. They're Sherpa lined and they have little mouses. Mice? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to get those for me. And then I need new socks. And look, these look like they're new, never worn, and they're 50 cents a pair. So I'm going to get them all for me because my socks at home seem to have disappeared. I was showing her my little mice. She said she just put those out. And I don't know how much I'll wear them, but a lot of times in the winter my feet get cold, so I do have a few pair of the fuzzy socks. And I was checking out the brand on those gloves, but it wasn't one that I recognized. Leather shorts, anyone? Anyone? These had a little bit of wear on the waist, unfortunately. And I'm going to pull them down and put them back up. So they're express. They had size 6 written on the tag, but the tag inside the garment actually said that they were a size 8. But we're going to put these back on the hanger here, put them back up where we got them, and take our socks. And again, not sure how they decide what gets hung up and what gets folded. Look at this. This was behind the counter, guys. Kachina for $10. So I just sold one very similar to this for over $100. And I don't see any defects on him. So I am definitely going to get him. And there's a vintage Florida Gators hat, but that one looks like it has some stains on it, unfortunately. And what I'm looking at right now are the Wrangler, the cowboy cut. And I see a lot at $20 to $30. There were a couple at like 16 to 17. But I think I might get all of the Wranglers they have because they are the same size and I can lot them up in sets of 2, sell them as work pants, and probably get $30 for 2 pairs. And I'm only going to pay $2. So if you see here, look, there's that Wrangler cowboy cut tag, and there are just so many. I'm going to take them all because I can lot them up. They're the same size. Let's see if there's some more over here. I'm just going to grab all of them because why not? You know, if you can get a lot of the same size, they're very easy to lot up. These are actually all the same color. So what I will do is I'll photograph the 2 worst pairs, put them as work jeans, and tell them that I have, 8 to 10 pairs available. The worst condition pairs are shown so they can expect to get that condition or better. And then I don't have to take a picture of every single pair of them. Look, more of them. This is crazy. These are $30, $35 jeans when they are new, and they've got them for $2. Look at that big stack. That is absolutely crazy. And if you watch my thrifting videos, and I know I haven't been doing them for a few months now, but I will take stuff like this and get all of it. It makes it a lot easier for listing. Not long ago, I got over 50 cycling shirts, and I have made hundreds and hundreds of dollars on profit on those. So with those jeans, if I got 10 pair for $2 each, I'm 20 into them, and I would expect to get 150. So not quite 10 times my money, but pretty darn close. And especially with jeans, jeans aren't hard to photograph or to ship. So those are pretty easy. And when you can list a lot of 5 of them, then it's a lot easier than listing, you know, a bunch of different sizes. I was trying to see if there were any more, but I didn't see any. And I'm looking at the shoes, but I'm not seeing any that look really great, unfortunately. All right, I think we're going to go and check out, and I will be right back with you guys in just a second. All right, not too shabby there. Tons of those Wrangler jeans, which they're worth like 16, 17 each. So I think what I'm going to do is lot them up in pairs of 2 and sell 2 for 30. So I paid 6, it'll be 6 into 30. I think they should sell fast. 40 by 32 is a good size, and we have a ton of them. So somebody must have donated all their work jeans, and there were some spots mostly around the pockets, but I think most people are using those for work jeans, so it really shouldn't matter. So let's go ahead. I got a few things for myself as well and the house, so we'll take a look again at everything I got right now. All right, I got some really, really good stuff at this store. I got this Tommy Bahama Relax, $3, XXL, brand new, Simply Southern. Isn't this cute? Spread kindness, and brand new with the tags, $5. I got these for Dalton. Got to go, I think it says gotta go fast. Yeah, gotta go fast. Got those for Dalton. He's getting tall, so he's growing out of a lot. I got this Winona sweater. I didn't look this up. I might keep this for myself if it's not worth selling, because it's my size. The Canon, I've done good with Canon vintage jackets. That one's size medium. And then I got this scarf, which is Rima beachwear. Just a really, really pretty tropical fish pattern. So I think I can keyword that one well. This one I got for me. It's like a shawl pullover. It's perfect for Christmas season coming up. I got me cups for in the house because they always disappear. The Gap is also for me, if it's not worth selling. This is a extra large, the cashmere. And then I got Dalton the glow mask because Halloween is coming up. Me new socks, they don't look like they've ever been worn, and they were 50 cents each. And if you know, socks are expensive. Look, I found a Kachina in the wild. How amazing is this? He's a really, really cool one too. He was 10. They were like, you know, it's $10. I told her yes. I think he'll go between 60 and 70. And then look at these socks I got for me. Hopefully my feet aren't too fat. They're very, very cute. And look, they're Sherpa lined. So they were $2. Got those for me. And then I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Is it 9? Prissy says it's 9. 9 pairs of Wranglers. If you don't know, the cowboy cut Wranglers that have this patch sell very well. These are worn, but most people use them for work pants, so I think they will do good either way. I'm gonna lot them up in lots of 2, and then yeah, so that's everything. Some good stuff. A few things for me. It's starting to get chillier. Didn't spend too much there. I think I spent 50 or 55. She accidentally charged me $3 extra. I told her don't worry about it. There was a difficult customer before me. So yeah, if there's anything you would like, you can leave me a comment or shoot me an email at thenurse.flipper@yahoo.com.